Right, look, if mornings aren't what they used to be down there, and I reckon we both know exactly what I'm talking about, then you need to hear this. You're already drinking your flat white or long black every morning, yeah? What if I told you that chucking a few simple ingredients into that cuppa could actually support blood flow, energy, and yes, those morning situations that used to be a lot more reliable? Too many blokes just accept that everything goes downhill with age. I see it every single day in my practice here in Wellington. Good men who feel like their body's letting them down. But I'm here to tell you that the science says something different. It shows you've got way more control than you think. I'm Dr. Hannah Collins, and as a urologist with over 20 years of practice, I've helped thousands of Kiwi men get on top of exactly these issues. Straight up, this area is full of dodgy information and empty promises. That's why I focus purely on proven, science-backed strategies that actually work. Today I'm going to show you exactly 5 ingredients you can add to your morning coffee to naturally support stronger erections. We're going to separate the real science from the internet rubbish. For each ingredient, we'll look at what the research actually says, how it works, and how to use it properly. By the end, you'll know exactly what works. And trust me, the last ingredient on our list could be the most powerful and surprising of them all. Now, before I get into it, I want to be upfront with you. Some of you might notice something different about this video, and I respect your intelligence too much not to address it straight away. Yes, I use AI assistance for some aspects of video production to help me reach more blokes who need this information. But every single word of content, every recommendation, every bit of medical advice comes directly from my 2 decades of clinical experience. I'm a real doctor with real patients and real results. I'm doing this because I want to help as many Kiwi men as possible, and this format lets me do that more efficiently. If you want proof, check out my credentials in the description, or better yet, book a consultation. I'm right here in Wellington, and I stand behind every word I say. Right, let's get into it. Before we dive into the list, you need to understand how erections actually work. It's not magic, mate. It's basically a plumbing issue that's all controlled by your cardiovascular system. It starts with a signal from your brain, but the real work gets done through blood flow. Your penis has spongy tissue that needs to fill with blood when you're aroused. For that to happen, your blood vessels have to relax and widen. This process is called vasodilation. The main switch for this entire process is a molecule called nitric oxide. Think of it as the signal that tells the smooth muscles in your arteries to relax so blood can flow in and create a firm erection. When your nitric oxide production is low, or the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, is damaged, blood flow suffers. That's the actual cause of erectile dysfunction for so many blokes. The good news is we can support this entire system, and it can start with your daily coffee. Now, you might have heard that coffee itself is good for erections. Some studies suggest a benefit, but the science is still a bit unclear. A large analysis from 2024 found no strong link between caffeine and the risk of erectile dysfunction. Generally, the real power lies in what you add to the coffee. So let's get to our first ingredient. Number 1 is cinnamon, and I don't mean dumping half the jar in there. Just a quarter to maybe half a teaspoon is all you need. But here's the thing, not all cinnamon is created equal. For daily use, you should get Ceylon cinnamon if possible. The common cassia cinnamon you find everywhere contains a compound called coumarin, which in high doses can be rough on your liver. Ceylon is much safer long term. And here's why cinnamon matters. It's basically nature's blood sugar regulator. You're probably thinking, what's my blood sugar got to do with my erections? The answer is everything. When your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, it causes something called glycation. Basically, sugar molecules start damaging the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them stiff and unresponsive. It's like sandpaper for your arteries. Studies show cinnamon can have a real positive impact on keeping blood sugar stable, which protects those blood vessels. On top of that, cinnamon contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde, which has this gentle warming effect and improves circulation. Some research suggests it helps blood vessels relax, which is crucial for blood flow. Think of it this way. You're protecting your blood vessels from sugar damage while simultaneously helping them relax. Just add about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon to your coffee. Your coffee will taste like it came from some fancy Wellington cafe. Cultures that drink Mexican or Middle Eastern coffee have known for centuries that this combination is powerful. We're only just now getting the studies that prove it. I had a patient, let's call him Dave, 58-year-old from Lower Hutt. He came in feeling absolutely defeated. Things hadn't been working properly for about 2 years. His blood sugar was all over the place, pre-diabetic range. I got him started on just cinnamon and our next ingredient in his morning coffee, along with some lifestyle changes. Within 6 weeks he was back in business. Not perfect, but significantly better. And his blood sugar had stabilized. That's the power of addressing the root cause, not just the symptom. Next up, we're turning your coffee into a mocha, but a healthy one, and with unsweetened cocoa powder. And I have to stress, unsweetened, not the sugary drinking chocolate mix. That stuff will spike your blood sugar and do more harm than good. Real dark cocoa is one of the richest sources of flavonoid antioxidants on the planet, and it's these flavanols that have a massive, well-studied effect on activating that main switch we talked about, nitric oxide. By firing up your nitric oxide production, cocoa flavanols directly improve the health of your endothelium, that crucial lining of your blood vessels. Healthy, flexible blood vessels are everything when it comes to strong erections. Studies have shown that daily flavanol-rich cocoa leads to significant improvements in blood flow and can even lower blood pressure. One study showed that a daily dose of dark chocolate significantly increased nitric oxide levels in the blood. While direct studies on cocoa for erectile dysfunction are still in early stages, the mechanism is solid. You're basically giving your arteries a daily workout, keeping them supple and ready to go, while protecting them from damage. Stir 1 to 2 teaspoons of high-quality, unsweetened cocoa or cacao powder into your hot coffee. Yeah, it'll be a bit bitter if you're used to sweet drinks, but the benefits are absolutely huge. You're not just drinking coffee, you're drinking a tonic for your entire vascular system. Now let's talk about Maca powder. This one's interesting. It's an ancient root from the mountains of Peru, used for centuries to boost vitality. Sometimes it's called natural Viagra down there, but it doesn't work anything like Viagra. Maca is an adaptogen. That means it doesn't just force a result, it helps your body adapt to stress and find its own natural balance. Its benefits lie in creating hormonal harmony and building stamina, not just forcing an event. While we're still figuring out all the exact mechanisms, the research is pretty impressive. Several clinical trials have found that Maca significantly improves men's self-perceived sexual desire when it comes to erectile function. So one major review of multiple studies concluded that Maca showed real positive effects in men with mild erectile dysfunction. It doesn't seem to work by directly creating an erection, but by strengthening the underlying systems, your libido, your energy, and even your psychological well-being, which, let's be honest, is half the battle anyway. Maca powder has a nutty, earthy, almost butterscotch-like taste that actually mixes really well with coffee. Start with 1 teaspoon. Since it's an adaptogen, you won't feel a huge change after 1 cup. The effects build over time. Most blokes notice a difference in energy and desire within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. It's not an overnight fix, it's a real, sustainable improvement. We're about to get to 2 more powerful ingredients, including one that provides the literal building blocks for testosterone. If you're finding this information valuable and want more science-backed guidance on optimizing your health, take a second and hit that subscribe button. It's a huge support for me and makes sure you don't miss future videos. Right? On to our next ingredient. Coconut oil in coffee. It sounds weird, I know, but hear me out. For years we were told to fear fats, but we now know that was terrible advice. Healthy fats are absolutely essential for male hormonal health. Here's the science bit. Your body literally cannot produce testosterone without cholesterol and fatty acids. They're the raw materials. If you've been doing a low-fat diet for years thinking it was healthy, you might have been starving your hormone production. Adding a quality fat like coconut oil, or its concentrated version MCT oil, gives your body the building blocks it needs. Plus, the fats in these oils are what we call medium-chain triglycerides, like premium petrol. They're absorbed quickly and converted directly into clean energy. This helps smooth out the caffeine kick and prevents the jitters and the later crash. You get steady energy all morning, which is crucial for both physical and sexual performance. While the idea is that providing these raw materials supports hormone production, the most important immediate benefit is this clean, sustained energy. Start with half to a full teaspoon, and here's the trick. You have to blend it. If you just stir it in, you'll get a disgusting oil slick on the surface. Chuck your hot coffee and the oil in a blender for 10 seconds, or even use one of those little milk frothers. It emulsifies and turns into a creamy, frothy, latte-like drink that's honestly delicious. The last one, and possibly the most potent of all, ginger. This spicy root is like rocket fuel for your circulation. It's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, and modern science is finally catching up. Ginger is a phenomenal circulation booster. Like cocoa and cinnamon, it helps support nitric oxide production, relaxes blood vessels, and gets blood flowing everywhere it needs to go, including down there. But here's where ginger really shines, its potential effect on testosterone. Several studies, mostly on animals so far, have shown that ginger can significantly boost testosterone production. It seems to work in multiple ways. It helps signal the testes to produce more testosterone. It delivers more raw material for hormone synthesis directly to the testes. And it acts as a powerful antioxidant that protects testicular cells from damage. One human study on infertile men found a 17.7% increase in testosterone after 3 months of ginger supplementation. We definitely need more studies on healthy men, but the evidence we have is incredibly promising. You don't need much. A 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder, or even a thin slice of fresh ginger in your cup, is perfect. It gives a spicy, warming kick that's fantastic. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I have to do a 5-ingredient science experiment every single morning? No, absolutely not. The key is to start slow and see what you like. Here's what I'd suggest. Week 1, just add cinnamon, see how you feel. Week 2, keep the cinnamon and add a teaspoon of cocoa. Then in week 3, try adding a teaspoon of maca to that mix on a few days. And in week 4, experiment with a bit of ginger or the blended coconut oil. Find the 1 or 2 ingredients whose taste you enjoy and that make you feel best. And look, I want to address something that came up heaps in the comments on similar content. A lot of you are asking, but what if my testosterone is actually low? And you're spot on. If your testosterone levels are in the cellar, and they will drop as you get older, you can chuck whatever you want in your coffee. It's not going to help enough. Before you start any of this, if you're really struggling, I'd strongly recommend getting to your GP or a urologist and getting your blood work done, your hormone levels checked. If your testosterone is genuinely low, you might need proper hormone replacement therapy. These ingredients I'm talking about today are fantastic for supporting healthy function and maintaining what you've got. But they're not a replacement for medical treatment if you've got a real hormonal imbalance. Think of these as part of a comprehensive approach, not a magic bullet. You also need to look at your lifestyle and your diet, because if you're carrying too much weight or you're constantly stressed, eventually nothing's going to work properly. That's just the reality. So get your levels checked first. That's my professional advice. Now, if you're only going to pick 2 ingredients from this list, here's what I reckon. Go with cinnamon and cocoa. Why? Because they've got the strongest evidence base for cardiovascular support. They're the safest for long-term daily use. They're easy to find and affordable. And honestly, they taste pretty good together. That combo gives you blood sugar control and a massive nitric oxide boost. If you want to add a third down the track, chuck in the maca for that libido and energy support. The ginger and coconut oil are your advanced options once you've got the basics sorted. See? Not so overwhelming when you break it down. Start simple. Build from there. Now, I have to give you a very serious warning as a urologist. Your safety is my top priority. You must be extremely careful with those herbal or natural potency coffees you see online. The authorities are constantly issuing warnings about these products. They're often illegally laced with hidden prescription erectile dysfunction drugs like sildenafil, that's Viagra. Taking these without medical supervision can be incredibly dangerous, especially if you've got heart disease or you're on certain medications. Stick to the pure single ingredients we've talked about today from brands you trust. And always talk to your doctor before you start any new supplements, especially if you've got other health issues. Sweet as? Don't muck around with dodgy products. So there you have it. 5 science-backed ingredients to turn your morning coffee into a powerhouse for your sexual health. We've got cinnamon for blood sugar and circulation, unsweetened cocoa for a massive nitric oxide boost, maca root for libido and stamina, coconut or MCT oil to fuel your body with energy, and ginger for circulation and testosterone support. Remember, this isn't about some single magic pill. Building stronger erections means creating a lifestyle that supports your health from the ground up. Adding these ingredients to your coffee is just one simple, powerful step you can take every single day. You've got the power to take control of your health. Now I want to hear from you. Have you already tried any of these ingredients in your coffee? What are your experiences? I want to know if you're planning to give this a crack, and which ingredient you're going to start with. Write your thoughts and questions down in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll answer your questions personally. And if you found this video helpful, I strongly recommend you check out my video about the 5 best stretching exercises for harder erections. When you combine those physical techniques with the nutritional strategies we've covered today, you create a really powerful approach to improving your performance and your confidence. That video's linked right here. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.